Beautiful people, welcome to my channel here on YouTube. My name is Jamie. I'm a mom of one 16-month-old daughter, Iris. I make videos about motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning, organizing, and everything in between. So if that is content that you would be interested in, please subscribe to my channel. It would help me out so much. If you're interested in hearing about exactly what I use in my C-section bag and what I would recommend to anyone to put in theirs, please stay tuned. First category that I'm going to talk about are things that have to do with technology. So the first thing that's really helpful for us in the hospital was a pair of headphones. My husband and I both use these to watch things on our phone when we had a minute, to FaceTime family, etc. The next is a very long phone charger, and we brought two. One for my husband, one for myself. This was super important because we couldn't have anyone in the hospital at the time. And so this helped us to stay connected, to share pictures with family and friends, etc. And then the third technology item was my breast pump. This is something that I didn't initially bring to the hospital. I think I brought on day 2. It was so vital for me. I suggest it to all of my friends now, and I am suggesting it to all of you. Because I had multiple lactation consultants come to my room throughout the day, I had so much help understanding my breast pump, understanding nursing in general. It was just so helpful, and having your pump there allowed them to make sure that it was fitted correctly, you were using it correctly, that there wasn't any pain, etc. I would highly suggest bringing your breast pump if that is going to be a part of your journey into motherhood. My second category is clothing. What should you pack in terms of clothing? So with a C-section, you know that you're going to be in the hospital somewhere between 3 and 4 nights, and you're going to need something to wear during that time. My biggest tip is to pack bottoms that do not have a tight waistband. I thought I'd wear my beloved Lululemon Aligns. That was not happening. I actually ended up consistently wearing these amazing pants that I would highly recommend from Pink Blush Maternity. They had no waistband. They were so comfortable. They were light enough that I didn't get too hot with the night sweats and just like being in the hospital, etc. Sometimes I was hot, sometimes I was cold, but these were perfect. That is, so I would highly recommend these pants from Pink Blush Maternity. As for tops, I just wore nursing tanks. So I wore nursing tanks and these pants from Pink Blush Maternity. I got my nursing tanks from Amazon in a pack of 3, and I think I reordered them like 3 times. They were so good, and they're very long. As I said, I'm 5'10", and so these tanks went down as far as I wanted them to go. They were covered me up, allowed for easy nursing. They were perfect. So I would bring something cozy, like a sweater, something you can still nurse in and have skin to skin, pants without a waistband, and nursing tanks or bras. I just found the tanks easier because I didn't need to wear a nursing bra and then a shirt over it. The next piece of clothing that I would highly recommend is some sort of robe. And so my C-section outfit was basically my Pink Blush pants, my nursing tank, and my robe. So one quick tip about the robe that I now suggest to all my friends is to get a robe with a pattern in sort of a dark color. So my robe is navy with a floral pattern, and it just helps to hide any leaks, any spit up, any food spillage, anything that ends up on you during those first few months as a mom. A robe with a busy pattern is just going to hide some of the stuff that you want to hide. So the next clothing item are socks. One thing after a C-section is that your legs are going to swell. My feet swell so bad that I could not even fit Crocs. My Crocs were tight. So having fuzzy socks with grip allowed me to still be comfortable, especially those first 2 days when I couldn't fit in any footwear. But I needed to walk around the hospital at my nurse and doctor's recommendation, and my daughter was in the NICU, so I needed to walk over to the wing of the NICU to see her every day. So I would definitely suggest bringing fuzzy socks, any socks with grip. I only brought 1 pair, and next time I'm definitely bringing more. I'm gonna bring 1 to 2 pairs per day that I may be in the hospital because they get gross, especially if you're not wearing shoes. Okay, So my next item is a little bit bougie. I'm just gonna own it. I brought my silk pillowcase because I sleep on a silk pillowcase every single night. And when you're in the hospital, just having had a C-section, you spend a lot of time in the hospital bed. So I brought my silk pillowcase and I loved having it, and I'm definitely going to bring it again. I just brought the pillowcase, and when I got there, I just slipped their pillow into my pillowcase. All the nurses were asking me about it. They loved it. They thought it was a great idea, and so did I. To recap clothing: pants with no waistband, nursing tanks or bras, a robe, a sweater, fuzzy socks, and your bougie silk pillowcase. All right, so my next item are toiletries. I brought all my toiletries. I brought everything that I would normally use. I brought my shampoo, my conditioner, body wash. One fun thing is I brought a loofah because I didn't know what the towel situation was going to be like. It wasn't great, so I'm glad I had it. I brought shower shoes, and I also brought my makeup bag and a little mirror that I could stand up and do my makeup on from my hospital bed. When my daughter ended up in the NICU, it was really hard because we had to be separated a lot of the time. And so having that 10 minutes in the morning to just have my makeup done helped me feel so much better throughout the day. And it was just a nice little moment for myself in the hospital before I would basically go in her room in the NICU and spend the whole rest of the day. So I use my makeup bag. I'm gonna bring it next time. I might not always have time to use it, but this time I did, and it was really nice to have. All right, let's talk about food items that I brought. So the first thing, I brought coconut water because I just had read that it helps keep you super hydrated, and that's really good after surgery and to help with your milk coming in, your healing, etc. So I brought like 3 or 4 of those big containers of coconut water, and I used them all, and they were great to have. I would definitely suggest bringing again. The next thing are snacks. I did not bring enough snacks, so next time I'm definitely gonna bring a few more of those. And I'm gonna also bring snacks for my husband. I had brought a few things that I like, but he didn't have any snacks in the hospital. And so he eventually went to get himself some when he ran out, but I would love to also have stuff for him next time. The next was a water cup. I brought my 32-ounce Yeti and had my husband or sometimes the nurses fill that up for me constantly throughout the day, and 10 out of 10 would recommend. My final kind of funny thing that ended up in my hospital room was my favorite seasoning from Louisiana called Slap Ya Mama. This was an accident. My parents brought it because when they flew up, I asked if they could bring some just because we were running low at our house, and they forgot it in my hospital room on day 1. And then I used it on every hospital meal, and it was perfect. And now I don't know if I'm ever going to pack a hospital bag that doesn't have seasoning in it. So that was my other really fun item that is sort of random, but y'all, I can't deal with bland hospital food, so it was a win for me. All right, so let's talk about some stuff for just like new mama stuff. So I brought my prenatal vitamins because you should still continue to take those after you've given birth throughout your nursing journey, I believe, but you should definitely check with a professional. I brought nipple cream, which I used for nursing, and you know that first week is tough as your body is adjusting. And then I brought breast pads for leaky boobs. I know some women who have vaginal deliveries are in and out of the hospital so quickly that their milk typically doesn't come in until they come home. But my milk came in on about between day 3 and 4. I was definitely needing the breast pads while I was still in the hospital. So I brought those, and they were super helpful. And then my next category is what we brought for the baby. We didn't bring a ton because we were trying to be minimal. We were, again, in New York City, and probably one of the smallest hospital rooms I've ever seen in my life. We brought her car seat. We didn't bring this until the last day because we didn't know when she was gonna be getting out of the NICU, but they had to do a car seat test on her, make sure we knew how to buckle her and everything before she could be discharged from the hospital. We brought a couple of options for coming home outfits that were just really cute and sweet and comfortable. We brought diapers and wipes, but just enough to keep in our diaper bag for our trip home should we have run into any situation where we needed diapers and wipes, because our hospital was about a 50-minute drive, and with New York City traffic, we didn't know how long we'd be in the car, so we had some. But the hospital gives you everything you could need for your baby as far as diapers and wipes, so you don't need to feel like you have to, but I would definitely have some like in your diaper bag. We brought a little blanket swaddle, which was really nice for some pictures and also for the nurses to show us how to swaddle. But a nursing cover could be really nice if you have people in the room and you want to cover up. And then finally, two things my hospital gave me that I didn't know I needed at the time was a waist binder. And so it was like an elastic sort of, it almost looks like a waist trainer, but it's definitely not a waist trainer. And I was able to put that around my midsection, and it just gave me a lot of support and helped reduce pain and discomfort as I was walking around and moving after my C-section. I definitely wore it for a few weeks after. Super helpful. So if your hospital doesn't give you that, I would definitely suggest finding some sort of binder on Amazon. They have a ton that will just help you with your healing and just to feel more supported. I got a stool softener pill with every dose of medication that I gave me. This may be standard, I'm just not sure, but I would definitely suggest having some stool softener with you. I continued to take them as I got home just to make sure that things were flowing and I wasn't in any pain. So, waist binder, stool softener. For the waist binder, I would look for one that's specifically for C-section recovery or birth recovery, because you don't want to get stuck with like a waist trainer. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for something that still has a little bit of give, but is also holding you in. So those are all of the things that I used out of my C-section bag. I hope you found this video so helpful and it helped you to be able to pack and feel confident that you had everything you needed when you go into the hospital to have your C-section. If you enjoyed this, again, please subscribe to my channel. It would help out a ton. And I will see you all wonderful people in my next video. Bye.